3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everyone, I'm Paul, Mr. Cleveland Warren, living in the city of Cleveland, in the state of Cleveland, in the United States of Cleveland. We have a special guest star here, not really, but we got movie sign. Today's movie is A Night at the Opera. The only reason why we're doing this one because it was kind of a suggestion towards Mark.
Oh, wait, by Mark?
By Mark, yep. Suggestion by Mark.
And as you stated, in the audience today, we actually have a live audience. Our friend Aaron Johnson.
Hello, all.
So, our one-person live audience.
So,
I'll clap loudly.
So, A Night at the Opera came at an interesting time during the Marx Brothers moment in life. This was the first film to be released under MGM, which is now part of Warner Brothers, actually, most of it's by Warner Brothers, like this film. And it's by Warner. There's also, and this is the time, and then there were three. These three. Zeppo left the group.
Yeah, that's not in the shot, by the way.
Mm.
Yeah, you pointed at something that's off camera.
Now, darn it.
So which three?
Oh,
the light's shining right in Harpo's face, so you can't even really see him.
It
doesn't matter. The light's fine.
Okay, well,
so Chico, Groucho, and Harpo.
So, yeah, those are the... and because Zeppo loved to do more behind-the-scenes work. So, yeah.
I thought he became an agent or an accountant or
and,
something. Yeah, he was an agent.
And he also... He did a lot of stuff, but...
and producer, I think.
Yeah, so... And he was married to somebody from the Sinatra family.
Interesting.
So, yeah, so we're going to go with one of the best Marx Brothers films of all time, A Night at the Opera. So, the movie starts with Margaret Dumont's character, Mrs. Claypool, she's looking for Mr. Otis Driftwood, because they're going to have lunch together.
And he's played by Groucho, right?
Yes, and they're in the... And like right now, this scene is... The film starts off in Milan. Or Milano.
And it's at a very nice restaurant, right?
Yes.
The restaurant hotel.
Yep, in Milan, Italy.
Okay.
Not Mulan.
Yeah, got it, right. So they're in Milan. And she's waiting for him.
So,
and doesn't it turn out that he's at the next table?
Tell
that whole joke? Right.
Yeah. So they decide to talk business. And Driftwood spots the...
$9.40. I wouldn't pay that if I were you.
Mr. Gottlieb, who is part of the New York Metropolitan Opera at the time. He's eating spaghetti, and he suggests Mrs. Claypool to be part of the New York Metro.
He's the guy with the goatee, correct?
Uh-huh.
And he gets her to help produce the Met, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's the business proposition that he has.
So they decide. So that night, Tommaso, played by Harpo Marx, is dressed up in all the operetta costumes, and
including the lady's dress,
which was kind of a little bit risque for its time. Hays Code.
It was during the Hays Code, correct?
Yep,
it was amazing what all they get away with in this movie, though.
Right. So, and that's jerk guy called La Spada. He says
he's the lead Italian. He's the lead opera singer.
Yeah, and he fires Harpo, Tommaso. So basically, then he sees Tommaso and let's see. I'm sorry, Fiorello, played by Chico Marx.
Yeah,
is spotted by Otis Driftwood, and they're talking about contracts and sanity clause. Oh, there's no such thing as this.
There's no such thing as a sanity clause. You can't fool me.
Yeah. So Driftwood decides to sneak away from the opera house, and there's also a subplot of Rico and Rosa.
And Rico is a singer in the group, but he's not very good, right?
Right.
No, he's not as famous
He's
yet.
not
That's
as
what it
famous.
is. He's not as
And
famous. as
Rosa,
Rico.
played by Kitty Carlisle.
She's the big deal female in the production.
Yes.
Right.
And
That's what's the opera that they're even doing? Is that even mentioned? I don't even remember.
It was at the one with the anvil in it.
Oh, one with the anvil.
Ding
Right.
bong.
So, but the
Not Bohemian Rhapsody.
a quick point with the subplot there where they're going through the contract.
Mhm.
It's because Groucho is sent there to sign the big deal singer,
Mhm. Yes.
and Chico claims that he's representing the best singer that they have there. The confusion that's set in is that he's representing his buddy, who's
Mhm.
the lesser known singer,
Right.
Rico, and
Ricardo.
right, and so Groucho thinks he signs that guy. But as they're tearing away parts of the contract, that's
Mhm.
the funny part.
Yes.
More than just the Santa Claus thing.
Mhm.
There's no one who brings you gifts all throughout the year
Right.
at Christmas time.
And so, and Driftwood misses the opera on purpose because
Yeah, he's not gonna go watch an opera.
Hey, I thought it's. Hey, I thought it was. I don't know.
Wait, what?
Is the opera still over yet?
Oh no, is the opera over yet? And they say yeah, and Chico says yes, and he says, "Oh, good," something like that, right?
No, but
Okay.
So Gottlieb and Claypool formed the agreement for the New York Opera. So behind the stage, the Laspari singer keeps bullying Tommaso, and Tommaso just bonk,
Yeah, he hits him with sandbag that they have.
and
over
then
the
he hits
stage,
him
right?
again
Yeah, that's when he hits him again. That's funny.
because he comes to.
Right. He's brought back by Gottlieb. Gottlieb shakes some sense into him, and then
Right.
Harpo hits him with another sandbag.
So everything is ready, and Rosa and Ricardo are go on. Well, Rosa goes on the boat, and Ricardo's then both. Ricardo,
Yeah, there's a big singing scene.
yes.
He's singing while he's getting blocked by all sorts of luggage,
Yeah,
and he's standing on the luggage, and
and-
she's on the boat, and she's
Mhm.
singing. It's very 1930s singing, if you know what that means. It's a whole lot of
It sounds like Adam Sandler.
Well, that's I guess what Adam Sandler got it from, the people who sing in the 1930s. I guess because it's operatic too,
Yeah, so,
but it sounds. I mean, some of the pop music from back then was a lot of "I can't live without you, and I love you too."
all sounds like some early 70s stuff. But yeah, so
Crappy music goes in cycles. 30s, 70s, current times.
So Driftwood has his giant trunk, and he's meeting everyone, and
and he's riding on the trunk. He's got the guy pushing him through the halls of the
Yes.
boat,
then
the luxury yacht or whatever. It would be.
and he's seeing everyone there having a luxury yacht, and then they go to his cabin, which is the most famous scene in any Marx Brothers film ever.
It's a tiny little space too, isn't it?
Yes.
It's literally just
And-
a bed and like
Yes.
it's the size of a closet.
Yeah, and it's like they can't put the trunk in there, and
Yeah, the
Yes.
trunk won't even fit, right?
and Ricardo, Borello, and Tommaso are all in Driftwood's trunk.
Yeah,
and,
so they jump out of the trunk.
and it says you gotta leave, but they insist on having some food and 2 hard-boiled eggs.
Honk.
Oh, I got 3 hard-boiled eggs.
Right. That's a pretty good scene. We're just trying to order all that food. It's a better scene when the food comes.
They got the maids, they got the people working on the stuff, turning off the heat.
Oh yeah, that's right. Somebody comes in there to fix.
Engineers
Yeah.
and what have you, and then Miss Claypool walks in.
Oh, and everybody falls out once she's
Yes.
stuffed in there too.
Yeah, it's
Now she's played by Margot Dumont, right?
Margaret Dumont.
Margaret Dumont. Mind you, she's an attractive lady. She's a rather tall lady, and she wouldn't be fat or anything, but she's a little larger for your Hollywood types. And so she's a very big lady. She's like 5'11", a tall lady. She kind of towers over the boys.
And it's not like the Mae West kind of thing. Come on, sing us sometime.
Oh yeah, she's not like a sexy type.
So
What's funny is think of like anytime you'd see Leslie Nielsen, in anything, and she plays it super straight. I don't even think she got the jokes most of the time. Just like Leslie Nielsen would always just deliver a line super straight. That's how I'm going to say Margot Dumont. I don't even care if it's Margaret. I like making her sound fancy.
And people out there, this is the break. I encourage you to watch A Night at the Opera. Just buy it, rent it, stream it. I really wish this was on HBO Max because they own the company that owns like Warner Media. They own the rights. They should put it on HBO Max.
And honestly, a fun thing for people to do if you really want, while you watch the episode, have the movie playing, and then hear our commentaries, have our commentary going on, and then go to that part of the movie so you see what we're talking about. So it makes sense. We're not going to put clips up because we don't want to get shut down or sued or something. And also because we're not that good at editing technology. So. Yeah, it is. Once we get some moolah, maybe.
Some De Niro's and not Roberts.
That's, what I should do is I should put you in charge of our Patreon page or something, since I never look at it.
But, okay, so click on our subscribe, get notified, hit that bell rung.
It's always so loud. Don't do it right by the mic.
Okay, fine.
Jeez.
So yeah, in the destination.
Most of the time, these little bars here on my sound thing, about 3, 4, 5. When you do that, it almost goes into the yellow.
Yeah. So that evening when Driftwood, all the bigwigs, Driftwood, Claypool, and Gottlieb were all having dinner in the main area. Tommaso, Ricardo, and Friolio decide to go into the area where a lot of Italians going to New York were having a feast, dancing, singing, a lot of spaghetti and sauce.
Oh, the Italians coming over to New York on the boat. It's kind of like I feel like Titanic stole this scene directly. You know how you have all the third class citizens dancing, all the underclass.
All Irish.
Exactly.
And some were Scottish, but
right. But my point being is that it's almost a direct ripoff. It's like, oh, just because we're poor, we can still have fun. It doesn't mean we can't have fun just because we're poor and they're dancing and they're eating. They're all having a good time.
Well, I prefer to have be with the Italian people, accordion music,
right? And then
and spaghetti, but
that's when
Irish corned beef, cabbage, and biddles.
And that's when Chico and Harpo have sex in that car, right?
What?
Oh no, that's Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet.
But there is a musical number. Chico's playing the piano for the children, like boom, 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 and then Harpo's playing the harp. He plays a little bit of piano, but mostly.
The piano scene's funny.
And to be truthful, this is one of the reasons why I like the Marx Brothers. They have musical talent. Groucho plays guitar. Groucho, that sounds like a Bowie song.
Groucho played guitar.
So
with his brothers, Harpo and Chico.
But Les Barry realizes that these guys are stowaways. He rats on the guys.
Okay.
And so now they're in the detention cabin until they reach New York. And then they spot Driftwood, so they try to get into the to his cabin.
Oh, isn't there that? Okay, so they escape from being detained, and that's where Harpo ends up in the water, right?
Yeah, and so then after that they find one of the 3 aviators that look like ZZ Top.
Yeah, so there's an important little bit of foreshadowing that Paul missed earlier in the film. That there were 3. I'm pretty sure they were aviators or generals or what were they? So Italians, right? Or from somewhere.
They look like ZZ Top.
Right. So but only 2 of the 3 guys in ZZ Top had beards.
Okay.
The guy whose last name is Beard, he doesn't have a beard. And so, and he's the drummer on top of it.
Yeah.
But so the 3 dudes, they've got these big long beards. These really long beards because I guess they were at war for a long time or whatever. And they're all sleeping in the same bed, and just perfectly stiff and straight, laying on their backs. And Harpo gets the great idea. He takes a pair of scissors and he cuts off all their beards and he ties them up because the next morning is when Harpo, Chico, and our male protagonist, who would have been played by Zeppo most likely if Zeppo was still around. I mean, that's all the Marx Brothers wound up doing after Zeppo left. After the first 4 films or whatever, they just stuck a good-looking guy in there and made him play whatever Zeppo would have probably done. But so good-looking guy. He's one of the 3 guys, and they all have their beards. And then
and Chico mentions speech, and Harpo.
that's when they have to go to the port and give the speech for the radio.
And Harpo constantly drinks all the water.
So Chico, he makes his rambling speech that he does. It wound up being pretty funny. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but then Harpo gets up there. There's another key component for anyone who's never seen the Marx Brothers movies. Harpo never talks at all. It's all slapstick. It's just there's no speaking at all with Harpo. So Harpo goes up to the mic, and he's being prodded by the guy who's running the radio station to talk because, it's the radio. It's dead air. You have to say something. And he keeps just drinking water. So there's this big pitcher of water there, and he's drinking water. And he just, oh, you're about to say something, right?
Yeah.
And he just keeps drinking water.
Right.
And of course, what's that do to the fake beard he's wearing?
It keeps getting wet and getting
right. So it starts to disintegrate, and it's hanging off of them, so that they accuse them of being fakes and phonies, and so Chico gets all upset about it.
And then Henderson, the chief,
Henderson's the police officer,
and he spots the phonies.
Right, and so they run off after being accused of being phonies, and then Chico just gives them a big hug and a kiss, and the beards.
No, that's Harpo.
Yeah, I said Harpo.
Tommaso, and it's Chico.
Oh, did I? Whatever. Mm-hmm. So Harpo, since his beard's fallen off, it winds up clinging to the other guy.
And then then Driftwood is. He has a hotel in New York City.
Okay.
And then Henderson's wondering, and he also Groucho says, "Of course you know this means war," which actually winds up becoming Bugs Bunny's catchphrase. Of course you realize this means war.
Oh, good. Bugs Bunny's in the shot, so all right.
Yes, Bugs Bunny has been inspired by Groucho.
Yeah, I know. Bugs Bunny is basically the cartoon equivalent of Groucho Marx.
Yes.
All right, so they've left the radio interview, and now what?
And now they're in the hotel room, and Driftwood was very not too happy with having Tommaso, Ferrelio, and Ricardo in his hotel room because
he's harboring criminals.
Yes, and I think Henderson's Irish. I don't know.
So then they wake up for breakfast the next day, right?
Yes, and Harpo's like putting powdered sugar on his face and syrup on his mustache.
He takes the teacup and sticks it between 2 slices of pancakes and he eats them. He takes all the pancakes for himself and just puts syrup on his face, right? Like he's gonna shave with it, and he gallops it on like it's his cologne.
Yeah. So
tell everybody about the bed thing. That's another great visual gag.
They move the beds all over.
Why are there 4 beds in here? Because Henderson, the police officer, shows up.
Yes.
He shows up. He's at the door, and he barges in. And the other 3 guys, it's a conjoining room. There's the 2 rooms, and there's a patio outside.
Yes.
And so to hide from the officer, they're hiding in the bedroom. The officer goes into the bedroom. They jump onto the patio. They go into the next room, and they're just going in this circle the whole time.
Yes.
And so there's 4 beds in the bedroom. And he's like, well, why? If it's just you here, why are there 4 beds?
Yes.
And so the guys eventually take everything out of the bedroom, put it into the other main room, and then take the few things from the main room, and then tell them how that ends up.
Well, I kind of forgot, but
where Groucho, pretends to be somebody else, and Chico puts some stuff on his face so he looks like a little old lady, and he's sitting on Chico's pretending to be a chair while the other guy's hiding on the balcony.
And then Ricardo escapes and sees Rosa.
That's right. I think this was about where I left.
And he also, but then we
just watched this film last week.
And Laspari,
I remember so much of it.
I was like, how long ago did you guys watch this? This is a lot.
Yeah.
I watched it yesterday. And
you watched it again yesterday?
And I tried watching on the Police Station 3, but it wouldn't stream for some weird reason. But
weird.
But what I did also was I played A Night at the Opera.
Right. So the album by Queen.
And that works better than Dark Side of Oz with The Wizard of Oz. I think somebody was too high for that.
Well, fair enough. But anyway, so he sings with Rosa again.
Yeah, and he sees Laspari and Ricardo just punches him.
Punches him then, huh?
Yeah, and so because of that, the sergeant, as well as Sergeant Henderson's looking for the whole thing with that. So
Yeah, he's trying to chase down the other guy.
and so like Driftwood saying, "Hello everyone, hi everyone," and he's going upstairs. He's looking like this, and then sees it. He's been canned, fired.
And he's fired by the guy with the pointy beard?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Probably German guy. I don't know, but so the elevator guy just kicks. After all that incident, he got fired. Driftwood gets fired, and he's rolling down the stairs.
Okay.
So, and now they're on a park bench in Central Park, and it's like, I wish I never met you guys, because he's very angry at them because he lost everything.
Right.
But Rosa then sees Ricardo again, and they decide to plan to sabotage the premiere for
the opera, right? Because we're finally at the night of the opera.
Yes.
Even though that's the name of the movie, the majority of it has been hanging out on a boat and in a hotel room.
Right.
Eventually, they get to the opera,
and then they have the actual night
at the opera, right? Henceforth, the title.
And so there's a lot of great gags.
Yeah.
Chico and Harpo, they go in the orchestra pit.
That's a good one.
They put "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," which actually is one of the few waltzes. I just realized something that I don't know if there was any jazz songs that had waltz songs.
Oh, waltz tempo.
Yeah, waltz tempo.
What was that, like 5/8 time? You guys know?
No
three
idea.
quarters.
Three quarters is a
three quarters or
waltz.
6/8.
It's three. Okay, see.
Okay.
I sort of know my stuff. I just don't.
And I just realized a lot.
Stuff.
There's a lot of rock, and there's a lot of rock music that uses the waltz.
That's true.
So
that one band, they did the last waltz.
the band.
Yeah, what band?
The band.
Which band?
The band.
What? I know which one.
The band.
All right, if you're not going to tell me, we'll just move on.
Okay, fine. So we're all
that was directed by your favorite director too, Scorsese.
And one of them.
One of your favorite directors. Sorry.
Tommaso. So they also lock Gottlieb in the closet, the guy who fired.
Right, exactly. The guy with the goatee.
And
don't point that beard at me.
And
that's an early scene.
And Rosa and Ricardo decided to be in the part of the performance.
Okay, so they take over the performance.
Yeah, Fiorillo and Tommaso also are in there too. And,
all right.
And Henderson decides to come here.
Oh, the officer, yeah. He does have a very creepy face. Paul just did it pretty much right there.
And
Paul's got a creepy face.
Shut up. And Tommaso keeps giving the extras wardrobe malfunctions.
Okay. He's pulling off their tops and stuff.
Yeah, but they're still in their underwear. But still wardrobe malfunction.
Right.
Well, there was actually a couple scenes that you see underwear.
Yeah, I know. Oh, there was that one on the boat where they do the total upskirt shot.
And
the ladies dancing. They're doing fancy dances.
The Hays Code people like,
well, I doubt the Hays Code people didn't even notice. It made it to the final cut.
Yep. And then last part, he keeps singing as Tommaso gets in trouble with the cops. They finally arrive and the lights get turned off. So Gottlieb actually now realizes the talent that Ricardo has, and they decided to perform, but he was hesitant about it because but he then reconsiders, and then there's the part where Rosa and Ricardo are doing a great operatic scene. Everyone loved it.
Okay.
Then Sparty comes in and it's like, boo, you suck! He gets an apple thrown. It's just you want to do the encore, but guess who does the encore? Rosa and Ricardo. And now Driftwood is back in the Metropolitan Opera and everything, the end. And Tommaso rips Gottlieb's shirt too.
Oh, okay. All right.
So,
humiliates him.
Great movie. My second favorite Marx Brothers film.
What's your favorite Marx Brothers film?
Duck Soup.
Duck Soup? I really like Duck Soup. I like Coconuts. And I like Horse Feathers. Horse Feathers might have some of my favorite jokes in it. And it's about football. It's about college football. And you imagine it's back in the 1930s, though. And Groucho's the one running the school. He's got another good name there. He's Professor, whatever the hell it is. Wax Bottom, or, there's all those weird names that they give him. And so he tells us one really good joke because his son is a student there, and he's having a tough time with his son.
Played by his brother, though.
Played by his brother, I know. It's one of the Zeppo movies. Zeppo's the leading good-looking guy, and so his son's having a problem making it to class because he's spending all this time hanging out with a lady off campus, and it's a concept I've never heard of before. It's they call her a college widow. So I don't know if it's the fact that she lives near the campus and her husband has died. Maybe her husband had worked at the university, and so she like tempts young men, and they spend time with them.
This is an older gal,
and so she's in her probably late 30s.
Okay.
Very attractive actress. I don't know who it was, but she's a very beautiful woman. And so Groucho and Zeppo are talking about this, and he's like, I mean, a college widow, that's something I can get behind. And it's a doggy style joke. I mean, it's just like right there. And right. It's like, man, this is from the 1930s. This is great. They're filthy.
And then the Haysco came in.
Hey, regardless, it's, one of my favorite bits is a Laurel and Hardy thing where they have to raise a kid. And just the writing in that, I'd have to play the whole thing out for you. It's a good 3 minutes long, but just the lines in it. It's like, you brought me this responsibility. You can't leave me when I'm high and dry. It's like,
and to be honest, the last real final great Marx Brothers film actually, in some ways, was a Day at the Races.
Yeah, that was the last of the great ones.
There's a reason. Irving Thalberg passed on from pneumonia, and he was kind of young at the time. And he was
the guy who he wrote and directed with them and stuff like that.
He was one who helped them out, and
yeah,
it really upset.
The best thing about A Day at the Races is there's the bit where let's see, Chico's selling the got your cold ice cream, right, or the icy colds or your snow ice or whatever it is, ice cream, and they do a similar one with the popcorn. No, the hot nuts or whatever in the other movie too.
Yeah, Duck Soup.
That's in Duck Soup. And then so Groucho buys all these racing forms from him, gives him all his money because he's hiding all the racing forms in his little ice cream machine thing that he's ice cream cart.
And again, another fun thing to do with this film, A Night at the Opera. Play A Night at the Opera.
By Queen.
Yes.
As you watch A Night at the Opera by the Marx Brothers. There are times where it pairs up pretty well. It's funny. It'd be played like there's the song "My Best Friend," and that's one that many of us probably know from the movie Shaun of the Dead. If you don't already know the Queen,
I'm singing more Foster song,
or possibly that even they're the best friend that I ever had. Okay.
But
I've been with you such a long time, and so anyway, at that's I'm pretty sure there's a scene where Chico and Harpo are that's where they first meet in the movie, even though they know each other really well. Right. And that song happens to be about halfway through when they run into each other.
And also the longest song, the Prophet song, when everyone's laying on the boat, Human Zoo, and because in some ways, which will be mentioned later, but speaking of Noah and trios and what have you, I'm going to go to my next Thursday. Well, it's about a trio. It's like another trio. They're right next to me. They're in the two of them.
They're in the shot. Yeah,
in the Wonderful Life box.
I don't know if they can tell it's a Wonderful Life box, but yeah. So point out the characters.
Panchito and this is Jose Carioca, and here's Donald, who's bigger. Because the three caballeros, because next week is the week of Cinco de Mayo. And
so you're going to do the three caballeros for movie sign?
Yes, next week.
Okay.
And, I'm also going to do, wait, I forgot about this. It's going to be the 16, sorry, folks, about the top 16 thing. It's going to be the 16 reasons why I prefer Chipotle over Taco Bell.
Oh, I thought you were doing something else.
It was going to be, no, I'll do that.
For Mother's Day.
Yeah, well, it's going to be following.
Oh, okay. So, that's fine. So, wait, top 16 reasons why you don't like what?
I like Chipotle.
More than Taco Bell?
Yes.
You have 16 whole reasons? Oh, all right. That sounds even harder.
More than 16. This is just the top 16.
Yeah, this is just the top 16.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and sign off.
I'm Paul Mr. Cleveland, living in the city of Cleveland and state of Cleveland in the United States of Cleveland.
All right, we're out.